So I sat down with the founder of one of the hottest up-and-coming AI SDR platforms on the planet. They're up against some of the largest companies in the space. We're on the call because we're testing out a load of this proprietary technology for our sales development rep as a service, so we can add more personalization to our campaigns. And the founder basically looks at me halfway through the call when we were about 30 minutes into this, and we were riffing backwards and forwards on personalization prompts. And he goes dead silent on the call, and he looks at me and he said, "I just don't get it, Luke. I don't get why there are other brands in the space which are growing faster than us. They don't have a better product. They don't have better personalization. You've seen the results that we get for our clients. The minimum response rates are anywhere from 15% all the way through to 30% that you're using it for you guys. I just don't get it. What are we doing which is meaning that we can't grow as fast?" And I heard it. I heard the frustration in his voice. And he was right. They have the superior product. They have the superior artificial intelligence to do these things. The tech was able to start conversations for you on LinkedIn, but they had a couple of things wrong. Well, not wrong, but a couple of things that they could optimize that would literally mean that they were able to grow a lot faster. For example, the founder had a LinkedIn brand, but one, he wasn't being consistent every day with his posting. And another thing that I noticed, I said, hey, we need to generate more top of funnel for you. In the sense, the reason why your company isn't as large as it could be in regards to brand awareness, it's just people just simply doesn't know it exists. You're focused very, very closely at the middle of the funnel, on the bottom of the funnel, where you're telling people about, your product features, or you're telling people about what the AI does. But at the same time, that means that it's only appealing to the people who are really looking for your solution at this point. People that are looking potentially for an AI SDR. But what about everybody else that you're selling to at the top of the funnel, the account executives who aren't necessarily your buyers, but who would use your technology? So I kind of gave him this advice that if we look at the likes of maybe a LinkedIn influencer like Gal Aga, he sells Align. Align is a digital sales room, but he never talks about Align in any of his posts. Instead, he focuses on the topic areas which the influencers for his economic buyer, i.e. those account executives, i.e. those sales development reps, will be looking for in regards to content. So he focuses on sales tips, on giving insights, on the reasons why problems exist within the niche, and where they can look to solve those problems. So people have this sort of innate curiosity to find out, how is it that Align can help me? He never even talks about a digital sales room. And the result of this is this: residual audience for salespeople looking for tips to help their pipeline is so much larger than those people who are in the market looking for AI SDR. So what's the impact? Those posts that Gal writes have a higher likelihood of virality. Now, for this founder in question, he could leverage some of this, a similar playbook, to get more reach out of his content out the gates, tap into some of those larger scale problems that people are searching for actively in the niche, and get more top of funnel awareness on his content. So that was the first change. The second change was name and claim where you are in the market. Name and claim your slice of the market. And there's such a method, a process called category creation through a book that I read called Snow Leopard. It was read this last year, and it's a process by the name of languaging. What is languaging? The use of languaging to change our thinking about something. Let me give you some examples. KFC bargain bucket, languaging, bucket of chicken. McDonald's Happy Meal, kids fast food meal. In each of these cases, we see how a brand has selected certain names to claim, their brand equity around something. And I said, what is it that your brand claims? And he's like, I don't know, Luke. I don't know if we want to be the best automation tool on LinkedIn, or if we want to be an AI SDR. And I said, why don't you potentially claim something in your market we are the #1 LinkedIn AI SDR, sales development brand? And he thought, pick a track. Pick a thing that you will claim in the market. You can't quite go up against the big boys yet, like Artisan, etc., who've raised a Series A, who've got millions in funding, but you know there is one part of your product which is specifically superior than everybody else's. Leverage that.
Now, the third piece of advice I gave to him is that if your marketing messaging isn't clear for the economic buyer that you are selling to in your sales cycle, your messaging is very unlikely to convert. And I went on their website and I said, look, brother, like, I'm your ideal client persona. There was some strapline on there that said, we are augmenting your sales future aligned with hyper reality or something. Very buzzwordy. I was like, marketing messaging should always be clear over clever. If I'm your ideal client persona and I don't know what this means, I don't know what I'm buying, so therefore I'm confused and I won't buy. What is it that you actually do? You enable me to predictively scale sales qualified pipeline without increasing headcount. Or maybe if you wanted to pick an enterprise or a sales team selling angle, could you potentially help reps to be 10x more productive by enabling them to leveraging more of their CRO or their personal network with these LinkedIn AI SDRs? It's all in the framing piece. And we should be talking about more of the problems in your website copy as well. Like, what are the innate problems you're solving for me? What are the problems and symptoms of those problems and how they show up in my business? I can't see any of that, so I find it very, very hard to relate the product itself. In summary, I often find that it is not something very complex that we're doing that is getting in the way of our LinkedIn or demand generation or even our marketing growth. A lot of the time it's about doing the basics with unrelenting efficiency over time and just making simple iterative decisions to get things right longer term. Now, when we can nail the basics, everything else falls in place. That's what I'd say on that. Like, that's it.